When I went to the BMV last week, some interesting things happened. And I don't know if it was proof or verification that I'm a chosen one, or that everything happens for a reason and I was exactly where I was supposed to be. But I went into the BMV, and the previous time you had to have a cell phone to check in. And I even mentioned this, but this time I went in, and below where it said put in your cell phone number, there was a thing that said, there was a button that said, I don't have a cell phone. So that was new, and it was after I complained, so that was good. And I was able to check in. And my number, which I wrote down, or my mom wrote down, because she came with me, was 577. So I had 77. And I thought that was interesting, because which line you go in has a different letter, and then it has numbers. But that means that it was a 1% chance of having a 77. And I guess it could have been 777, but the numbers don't go over that many digits. The numbers are only 3-digit after the letter at that particular location. And so we were waiting in the lobby, and I remembered the number was 577. It was 77. And then my mom, who has the Jezebel spirit, I think she tries to stress me out, but I just didn't let it bother me. She's like, oh, is that your number? Is that your number? What's your number? We can't hear it. And she was trying to stress me out the whole time. But I knew that the number was 77, because that's a special number. And finally, I got up to the counter, and I basically just got a new license, because the car insurance company wanted another form of ID with my address, and I hadn't gotten enough bills yet. And there's just always something every day that's a pain in the butt. And then here was the next thing. Oh, we need verification of your address. And I asked if they could just give me another week or something for some more bills to come in the mail. But no, they couldn't do that, of course. So then I had to spend $26 on a license that I just got a month before to get it done again, so that I could have the new address on it. And when I went to get my picture taken, this was the strange thing, is that I sat down, and the technician, or the guy at the BMV, the employee, he pressed the button to take the picture, and it wouldn't take. And he must have tried to take my picture 10 times, and it wouldn't focus. And he had another woman come over, and she tried it, and it still didn't work. And eventually, they got the picture to take. And while they were doing this, he was saying oh, the machine's weird like this. One out of every 13 people it does this. But I'm not really sure that I believe that, because he kept trying to take the picture over and over. This is multiple minutes of just pressing the button, trying something else and pressing the button, and it didn't work. And then he looked at me kind of strange. And then he gave me a very kind, nice smile at the end. So I don't think that that happened 1 out of every 13 people. And if that was the case, he kept trying to take the picture, and someone else came over, and they kept trying to take the picture, and eventually it did work. So if that was the case, it seemed like no one would be able to get their picture taken. So just a strange thing. My number was 77, and the camera wouldn't focus on me to take a picture. And eventually, though, they did try many things, I think even manually doing it, and finally it worked. But then the guy that worked there, he looked at me kind of strange and very kind and nice. So it was very interesting. Maybe he knew something, or maybe he noticed something. So I don't know. Maybe 1 out of every 13 people that walked in, the camera would not focus. But I don't believe that. And I had taken a picture there the month before, and it came out just fine. And I would understand, you click the button and it doesn't come out. And then you click it again. Okay, maybe the 5th time that you try it, then the picture takes. Normally it does it the first time, but no. He kept trying and trying and trying, and then called someone else, and they tried, and then nothing was working, and finally it just took. And then it was a very interesting way, and a kind way, that he looked at me afterwards. And it was almost like when he was making small talk about how, it doesn't work, and like, the repair people came here, and then it worked fine when they were here, and then they left, and then this happened, and it was like almost like he was making stuff up to tell me. So I don't know. Just an interesting story. Thanks for listening.